Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to ask you a serious question, one that might hit close to home. Imagine you wake up tomorrow and your job is gone. No warning, no backup, just gone. What would you do? And I want you to answer honestly. Be honest, how would you react emotionally and financially? A, I have a plan and would stay calm. B, I'd panic, but I'd try and figure it out. C, I'd feel lost and overwhelmed. D, I'd blame myself and others and act impulsively. Take a second pick at your answer, and if you feel comfortable, please drop A, B or C or D in the comment below. I'd love to hear your reasoning too. I think that these sort of questions help others as well, because it's not just you that feels these ways. You could feel a certain way and somebody else could feel a certain way, and we can help each other in the comments. So I'd love for you to drop a line in the comment below. So now, based on how you answered, I want to give you some personalised advice. It's not financial advice. I just want to give you some advice that might help you're ever in this situation. So let's break it down. But if you picked letter A, then well done. You've clearly put some thought into your future, maybe even built up an emergency fund, kept your resume up to date, or developed skills that could help you bounce back quickly. My advice for you is don't stop now. Keep refreshing your resume and make sure you keep building your emergency fund. Make sure it's still solid in today's economy, because we all know that we need more and more for our emergency fund these days. And is your industry evolving? Could you use some refresh in your skills? And if you're in a strong position and you've done all those things, maybe you could actually offer support to somebody that needs it, because I think that's always the nice way to offer support people in need. It helps them, and it also helps you feel good about yourself even more, because we all need powerful mentors. If you pick B, you're not alone. A lot of people fall in that category. The moment of panic is real, it's human, but the fact that you're still trying to figure it out shows that you're strong. Here's what will help you the most: a clear, simple plan, so that, and nothing fancy, just a list of the bills that you have that you can actually cancel. So just get rid of those things first, like Netflix and Amazon. You don't really need them, because if you don't have a job, you want to make sure you cut as many bills that are unnecessary as possible. So if you have a plan now, just to be on the safe side, it can help you save being panicked if it were ever to happen to you. So best to get a plan now. If you happen to know of any side jobs that you could get, you know that they're pretty easy to get, then at least you have a plan of action if the worst case scenario did happen. So if you pick C, well, thank you for being honest, because a lot of people are not. Feeling lost and overwhelmed in a situation like this is actually pretty normal, but it doesn't mean you're weak or incapable. What you need is some kind of structure. So if you start writing down one small action, don't try and fix everything at once, and start writing down like 3 things that you control today. Like if you can control 3 things today, that will help you along the way. Just 3. That might be updating your resume, calling a friend for advice. So small steps can lead to momentum, and momentum leads to clarity. So you don't have to have it all figured out at once, just need to start figuring it out step by step so you're moving forward. If you pick D, then that type of honesty takes guts to admit. Blaming yourself or reacting impulsively usually comes from a place of fear or pain. It's usually your brain trying to protect you, even if that is a little messy or unclear. So here's the shift. Instead of reacting impulsively, try pausing for 10 seconds, take a breath, write down what you're feeling, ask yourself, what would a calm version of myself do right now? If this is an actual pattern in your life, you just need a new way to process the stress. No matter which one you choose, here's the truth. Losing a job doesn't mean losing your value. It's a setback and it's not the end of the world. I always think things happen for a reason. So about 2 years ago, I quit my job because I wanted to spend some time with my friend, because he was dying, right? And so I don't know if you're new to this channel, because I haven't shared too much about me, but about 2 years ago in July, I basically went to my boss and said I want to quit because my friend has been told he has 6 months to live, and I want to spend some time with him before he dies. And, wouldn't have been able to do that if I didn't have an emergency fund to begin with. And luckily I did, and I just felt the need to spend time with him. It was like more important to me than spending time working, I guess, even though my job was pretty good. So anyway, so I did that, and then my boss was like, no, take 3 months off unpaid and then come back. Well, a week into my trip with him that we wanted to go on to Roatan, Honduras, I found out about my mum was ill. So I ended up, like, we left there and we went together to England and saw my mum. She came out of the hospital, she was fine. I got home after 3 weeks of being in England, looking after my, being with my mum. And then I found out from her doctor that she was given 2 months to live with the cancer. So I was like, oh my gosh, I cancelled all my plans with my friend, which is kind of mean, but not really, because my mum needed me. Went back to England and I ended up being there 6 months taking care of her. Well, if I didn't have my plan in place with my finances, I would never have been able to do that. So lucky for me, I did. And the way I see it is, I think if I can help others be in that situation and think about things that haven't happened, then that way, if something does happen down the road, you're actually taken care of. You're in a better situation, you're in a better position to be able to just spend the quality time with people that you need, or give up a job that you don't like, or something, whatever that is, or maybe just take some time off to travel because you've set yourself up in a good situation where you can do whatever you want, right? So anyway, so after that 6 months, I came back, my friend was still doing good, and during the 3 months when they said I can come back and work after, being unpaid for 3 months, they fired me because I was in England and I wasn't in the US, and I live in the US, and they said I couldn't work remote from England because of tax reasons, so they fired me, which obviously I thought at the time, I still had that job in 3 months. Well, I didn't, because they wanted me to come back to USA and work. Even though I work remote, they just wouldn't let me work remote from England, which kind of odd, but it is what it is. And it actually worked out good, because when I came back in the January, my friend was still okay, even though he was given 6 months to live. So I was pretty lucky that I got fired, really. It sounds weird, but I was lucky, because then I felt like I didn't owe them anything because they fired me. And so I didn't feel like, I have to give them my time because they let me take that time off. But instead, I came back and I got to travel and do the things that we had planned to do before I left with my friend. But I wouldn't have been able to do any of those things if it wasn't for myself being set up financially because of my previous choices. So I'm just saying, like, losing your job doesn't mean losing your value. It's a setback. But if you're putting systems in place now, in case this does happen, then you actually just think, I don't even need this job anyway. So, and it's not your identity, the job. You don't want to keep your job as your identity, because then if you do lose it, you're really devastated, and that is never good. Start preparing now for something that could happen later. You never know. And if it doesn't matter, because you're set up anyway. If you just start little baby steps and get prepared for something that could happen in hopes that it never does, and then that way you're so much better off later, honestly. So, and you have more power than you think, and I want you to be prepared for life's curveballs, because you never know what's going to happen down the road. And then if you have set yourself up, you've got clarity and focus and more power than you ever thought you would have. Thanks for watching. You got this. And don't forget to subscribe if you like content like this. And I'll see you in the next video where I'm going to talk about affirmations.